morning once again, and welcome to another edition of Chronicles of 1900, an inspirational podcast by Abraham Sunday. Thank you very much, Seekers of Wisdom, for always tuning in and always listening to my podcast. Please share with everyone that you know. I know it's blessing somebody, and people have been reaching out to me to tell me, oh, they need this, they need that, and that's why I was able to share last week about how you can start selling on eBay. This month, I'm going to be talking about how to access credit. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because it's one of the areas that we don't really talk about and people get into trouble easily. Now, credit, right, is a very good thing if you can leverage on it. Having access to credit is very good. But the problem is our people don't know how to use credit. Somebody said something on a podcast I watched, and she said, if you can not buy it with your debit card, don't buy it with your credit card. This is a good advice. This is what the Spirit is giving me to give to you. If you cannot afford it with your debit card, do not buy it with your credit card, because it means that your financial capacity cannot do it. Now, somebody will say, oh, how is that possible? That's not, it is reality, because if you can't afford it with your debit card and you're buying with your credit card, it means that it's either you have a plan to pay it back because there's the money that you're expecting, or you already factored in that you're going to be paying some interest over time, because credit cards are interest cards. So how do you leverage on credit? Now, I talked to you about starting a business last 2 weeks, talked about Amazon as well. Now, if you find what you want to buy, right, and you don't have the cash to buy it, but you know that this is a good deal, you run the number, you stack the number up, and you know that this is a good deal. Now, credit can be very good. I'll give you an example. When I applied for my first credit card, I applied for Vanquish. Then they were the one that can give you credit card if you don't have very good credit rating. I've never bought credit. I only have a phone. Some 10 years ago, 3-line what I used then. That's the only credit I have. So I didn't have a good credit, and I applied for credit card. The only people that could give me credit card was Vanquish. They gave me $250 thereabout, and I said, okay, that's fine. I took it, started using it. I pay it back every month. One thing about credit card is this: it's good for you to use it, but make sure you pay everything back at the end of the month. And that's why I was saying that if you can't afford it right with your debit card, don't buy it with your credit card, because you're going to be in trouble. So what I did was I use it, I pay back. I use it, I pay back. I use it. So I wasn't paying interest. Even if I maybe use £100 out of it and I couldn't pay back the £100, I was able to pay back £50 or £70. The interest is not really high, okay? Until when I got into 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, and then 4,000 thereabout. The good thing about it is that once you use your credit card, don't use more than 50% of your credit card. It's not good for your credit history. Remember, this episode is talking about how to build your credit. Don't use more than 50% of your credit, because it shows that you are depending on the credit a lot. And when you use the 50%, pay it back, pay it back, pay it back, so you don't accrue interest. But let's put the context to what I explained last week. You've now started looking for auctions or closing down stocks that you want to buy, and you found this very good sales that is going on. You looked at the numbers. Maybe they say this particular lot has got maybe hundreds of this type of product, and each of them, you know that if you buy them, they sell for £10 each, right? And hundreds of them means that that's 1,000. Okay. Now, what am I gonna do to this? I'm gonna say, okay, if I buy them from the auction for maybe 200, right, then I can make profit of 800. But no, you won't make profit of 800. Let's be realistic, right? If you buy it for £200 and it's selling for £1,000 at the end of the day, now you need to think about the fact that you want to sell it quick and return the money back to the credit card. So you prepare yourself. Look at the time that your credit card interest rate comes up. Look at the time you're buying the stock. If it's towards the time that your new statement is being generated, it means that if you buy it and statement is generated, you're going to be paying interest. But think about it. What about if you make profit on the sales? So let's put a context to it. You have a credit card that is £2,000 and you want to buy this, or maybe your credit card is £1,000 and you want to buy this particular closing down stock for £200, which is good. After buying the closing down stock for £200, what you can do is you can then say, okay, I'm going to list the product online. I'm going to sell the product. Now you have used £200 from your credit card. Maybe to go get the goods, or maybe they ship it to you or they post it to you, cost you maybe another £100. So your cost at the moment is £300, right? Sell it online. Don't be greedy, right? It sells for £10, right? But you sell for £7 or £6. When you sell everything, you're probably looking at £700. your overall cost is actually £300 or maybe 350. You are making another 350 on it. Now put the product online. Start selling the product quick. As soon as you sell the product and you're able to make £200 or £300, pay off your credit card. Now, what happens is the remaining things that you need to sell, they are your profit. This is how you take profit. The first thing you're looking after is how to get your capital back in business. So, if you're investing £300 on this particular closing down stocks that you are looking at selling, your first target is how to sell and get your capital back. Even in property investment, that's what you do. I'm going to talk about that in later episodes, right? Look for how to get your capital back. Immediately you get your capital back, what happens? You can then say, okay, whatever is left in this product, they are my profit. So what do? You can begin to sell those ones, even at discounted rates. It doesn't matter. But the most important thing is that the capital is back. So use your credit card to buy it. Let's say you use your credit card to buy it for £200, or you spend £300 from your credit card, and your credit card interest for that £300 is maybe £30 or £40, right? Now you have looked at the overall cost of buying that thing is £350. What you're going to do, sell those products, right, for maybe £60. Sell at least 30 of it quickly, right? Sell at least 50 of it quickly. Sell at least maybe 60 of it quickly, so that you can use the money to pay off your credit card. Once you pay off your credit card, whatever stock is left is your profit. You can begin to sell that one over time to make more money. And then that's how you grow. So when you look at the use of that credit card, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense because you are using it to the investment and get the money back. But think about it from another perspective. What about if it's somebody that wants to buy a car and you want to be driving this car? You don't have a car, right? You need to buy a car, and probably all you have in your savings is £500, and you have £2,000 credit card, and you look at the car and say, I love this car, I need the car to go to work. And then it's okay, the car that you want is like maybe 1,500 or £2,000 car, and you have only £500. And it's okay, because you love the car, you're going to buy the car. So you swipe your credit card to buy the car for 1,500. Now, this is the problem. You're 1,000 deficit already, right? Because you bought the car for 1,500. You only have £500. If you pay back that 500 to your credit card, you are owing your credit card £1,000. Now, if you don't have a plan that if by the end of the month you're going to pay back that £1,000 into the credit card, you have to be paying interest on that credit card. Maybe at the end of the month, all you can make out of your work in terms of savings is £200. Now, you have to be paying that £200 on your credit card for the next 5 or 6 months to pay off that card debt. Now, for somebody, that is a good deal. But to me, I won't advise you to do that. That's a bad deal. Somebody's saying why? It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal because by the time you look at the interest you're going to pay on your credit card for the next 6 months for that £1,000 that you have taken out of it, you've actually put yourself in a position whereby you won't have any savings for the next 6 months. All because you're paying credit card. We've had situations whereby people take credit card and they take £500 and they pay almost £3,000 on that £500 because they are not able to pay the credit card back on time or the credit back on time. So what do? If you have £500 cash and you want to buy a car, and the car that you are interested in is 1,500, what I will advise you is wait, go and buy a car of £500. You might not look nice. Nobody cares. In the UK, there's nobody that cares if you buy Range Rover or you buy Picanto. The most important thing is taking from point A to point B. There's no pressure anywhere. Don't put yourself under any unnecessary pressure. Think about it from the point of financial stability. Buy a £500 car. Use the car. Go to work. Save money. You've not used your credit card. You just use only your cash. Or maybe you use your credit card just to be able to pay it back. End of the month, you have a 500 already. You pay it back. Right? You have a £500 car. You're managing it. With time, that £500 car that you're using, you'll be able to save more money to be able to buy the 1,500 car. What happens is that in 6 months' time, if what you're saving at work is £200, remember we talked about it from the start. 200 for 5 months is 1,000. You have a car of £500. Now you can sell that car off and collect your £500 back, or maybe you collect £400 from it, and then you have 1,000 that you have saved plus the 400, 1,400. That same car you wanted to buy 1,500 5 months ago, you cannot buy it. But do you know what has happened? You've had a car, right, for 6 months or 5 months. Now you're buying the car that you want with your savings, but you're not in debt. You're not in debt. So what happened is that you have not actually worked for somebody else to enjoy. You have actually worked and you have grown. UK allows you to scale down, scale up at every point in time that is possible. Don't think about the pressure. Don't think about the fact that because you want it, you must have it. No, there's a difference between want and need. I used to teach people that on my training platform what I call the Moscow prioritization. The must have, the should have, the could have, the won't have for now. Look at it. Is the 1,500 car a must have for you? If it's not a must have, right? Then you can actually scale down to say, okay, is it a should have? A must have is something you cannot do without. Something that is important, that if you don't have it, probably going to die. So if you don't have a 1,500 pounds car, you won't die. So it's not a must have. Okay, it's a should have, you need a car to get to work because the cost of transportation is high. Then buy a 500 pounds car. It's working. It's got MOT. You looked at everything. You got somebody that have helped you checked it. It's got MOT. It's got what's it called? It's serviced properly. You can use it for the next 6 months without maybe doing servicing or anything. All you need to do is put your tax on it and put your cheap insurance on it, and that's it. So what I'm advising you is a simple way of how to use credit. Don't use credit for what you cannot afford. Only use credit for what you can afford and then pay it back. And then you see your credit begin to grow because you have a good track record of not using all your credit and not paying debt. Because when you get yourself into debt, the problem is that debt is very, very easy to swallow you. It will swallow you in a way that you won't even realize until when you are maxed out. So my advice for you is don't be afraid to take it, but be very, very pragmatic about how to use it. I hope this word has inspired you and has also given you the confidence to be able to take credit. It doesn't matter if it's a laptop you want to buy, it doesn't matter if it's a phone you want to buy, it doesn't matter if it's a car you want to buy. Think about it very well, right? Can you afford it? If you can afford it with your debit card, then buy it with your credit card. I'm going to tell you about other things later on. There are other credit that you can have, like maybe cars and stuff like that. How can you ensure that you are buying these things and you are actually doing yourself good and not bad? Because at the end of the day, it all looks glamorous, but behind it, somebody is crying. I don't want you to be in that trap. And I pray God will give you grace to be able to understand what I'm saying. In my next episode, I'm going to talk about more on how to build your credit rating. Okay, so stay tuned. It's the Inspirational podcast. It's Chronicles of 1900. So I need you to like, I need you to subscribe, I need you to share, and be able to tell people about this. And I pray God will bless you as you do that. My name is Abraham Sunday. Until I see you next time again, God bless you.